Hi everyone. Uh, Welcome to 2026 DRA, the first 2026 DRA meeting. This meeting is recorded, so please adhere to the CNCF Code of Conduct. And if you have not already, please add your name to the agenda document here, and we can get started. So I know there have been a few topics on the agenda, but before we get to that, I just wanted to give a quick summary of what happened in the last few weeks after the last time we met in 2025. Um, it was decided that the original Web 10, which was support for DRA devices in KubeVirt, that was tracking more than one feature gate, namely GPUs with DRA and host devices with DRA. And having two feature gates per web, it kind of gets a little bit harder to track graduation to beta and GA. Hence, and additionally, on top of that, or and Sebastian were also helping with exploring network DRA devices. So having more than one feature gate represented by one web was not suitable and not ideal. So we ended up splitting this web into three webs for better tracking of feature gates and better graduation of features. So the original Web 10 was converted to GPUs with DRA. A new host devices with DRA web was filed, and another network devices with DRA web was filed. So we have three webs now, all representing different features in KubeVirt. Additionally, we already had CPUs with DRA as a separate web. So I didn't have it in the list here, but that's another web we'll be dealing with on the DRA side. And we have had some discussions on the API and explorations there already. So I just wanted to update everyone that with this. And additionally, all of these three webs are explored in some way or another, that they will be working using downward API. So we no longer will need the VMI status that reflects device information on VMI. And that is tracked by this cap here. Okay, that's the update I have. I want to pause here if anyone has questions here. Seems like not. Okay, I think we can go to the next topic. Nestor. Yeah, sorry.
Just one question. Yeah, sorry. So what's the expected action item from this? Do we need to, are these targeted for 1.8 or is it for 1.9?
The GPUs with DRA is 1.8. We already, yeah, go ahead.
That one already merged, right?
Yes, that one merged.
Maybe I will use this opportunity to ask someone from the community about, has anyone plan to create the web for the host devices DRA? Because I saw only the issue, right? And it refers to the original DRA API web, right?
Yeah, Igor, it's on my plate to create another web for host devices with DRA. It will mimic the exact web changes we have for this one, which already merged. The only reason why I did not create it was I wanted the focus of the community on this, getting it merged with the deadline on our heads. So now that we have crossed that, I think everything we do with this web can be translated as is for host devices.
I got you. Thank you. And also, as part of that, the propagation of device metadata will
Yes.
be the same, right? Okay.
Yes, and that work is tracked by this enhancement in Kubernetes. There
Mhm.
are, so here work is being coordinated with work group device management on what would be the right design to achieve this downward API. There are a few options. One option is we discover this information automatic. The Kubernetes, this framework discovers this information automatically and the drivers don't have to do anything. The other option, which is more preferred from the workgroup device management reviewers, is to actually have a specific gRPC API that the drivers will have to implement to expose this information as downward API. In which case it will be explicit and drivers will have to implement that method to get this information there. So the debate currently that is going on this review is whether we should have an implicit one or whether we should have an explicit one. I was trying to get an implicit one so that all the drivers don't have to do anything extra for KubeVirt, but it
Yeah.
seems like there are pain points in the implicit method where there will be failures and unexpected corner cases. So yeah, it's a very debated topic right now,
Mhm.
and I'll post a summary once we have a conclusion on this for everyone here.
Thank you for
Yeah,
the update. I will take a look. Thanks.
we have a question. Larry, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. But then, does it mean also that we'll have two drivers, one for KubeVirt and one for not KubeVirt?
No, we will not. If we opt for an explicit API, then the drivers that want to support KubeVirt in their implementation, they have to implement an additional function uh, which writes this metadata file. So the explicitness is in whether we force the drivers to implement that function or do it transparently behind them changing anything. Does that make sense? But it will still be the same driver.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, perfect. Yeah, that's what I wanted to make sure that we're not falling back into this device plugin situation.
No. It'll be the same driver. It's just in that driver whether we choose the explicit or implicit route.
Perfect. All right, thanks.
Okay. Yeah, that's all I had for this topic. Think we can move on to the next one. Mediated VFIO AP mediated devices. I believe it would be Nestor who represents this.
Yeah. So
Right. Okay.
just to bring an update, what we are doing with the Astro-90 crypto cards devices, we are working currently in a proof of concept using the DRA example driver. We don't have a driver yet, so we're just adapting the DRA example driver to be able to create a mock driver or a DC driver to add a device via VFIO IP. So we're just in the starting phase. My question is here, after we will have a POC, what will be the best approach here? So do you want to proceed? Shall we write a BP for doing that? Do we need some changes in the API? And so on and so forth.
I think once you have the POC, it will be good to present that POC here and call out the gaps in the existing solution.
Yeah.
Once everyone has a good idea on what the gaps are, we can discuss whether we should file a new web for it, or we can absorb that in one of the existing webs we have open.
Okay. Cool. And yeah, super. Sorry. I
No,
didn't want to
I
interrupt you.
wonder. I wonder if there's anything special. Like, could it be just part of host devices, or is there any kind of special handling that's needed?
This is a question for me.
Yes.
Well,
Or maybe we'll follow Ali's advice when you'll have something. We could take a look at it.
I mean,
Sorry, I was just going to say, I think on the VM spec side, there might not be any gaps, but how that VM spec generates the DOM XML for the VFIO AP device is slightly different than the normal VFIO devices. So I am anticipating a gap on that DOM XML conversion, which is why I would like to see the POC and the gaps called out before deciding which web can correctly represent the work needed here. Like, I think, does that answer your question?
Yeah, I think that we should wait and see how has this been used.
Sure.
Okay.
Nestor, I had a follow-up question on the POC with DRA example driver. Are you still at the phase of exploring it, or do you have that working with KubeVirt somehow?
We didn't start it with KubeVirt. We are just enabled to work with Minikube because DRA sample driver. So short answer, no, we are not with Minikube yet. We plan to start with KubeVirt end of this week, next week probably.
Okay.
Yeah. The technical background is that this DRA example driver works with Kinth, and Kinth is not compatible with S390X. So I have a draft PR open for using also Minikube, and Minikube also allows to start with driver none. That means that we can have access to the hardware in the device, in the host. And that allows us to not mock, or so that saves us time in order to mock devices.
Got it. If you have a link to that PR, it would be good to put it here for everyone's reference in this document.
Yeah, will do.
Thank you. Okay. I'm not sure who put this topic. Is
That was
anyone
me.
here?
That
Okay,
was me.
go ahead.
So that was with the DRA example drivers, and I already spoke about because that was if I remember correctly, in one of your BEPs, that was the discussion with DRA example for KubeVirt. So that means that I see some common paths here, so that maybe we can benefit both of this work.
Yeah. So unfortunately, we don't have. There has not been any exploration in the community on running this driver on Minikube. There is an issue filed which has been assigned to Srija on trying to extend the DRA driver to mock some, maybe let's say VFIO device or an MDEV device. We need that for Web 10 to go to beta for adding some kind of an end-to-end test. So work is planned for that, but I don't think any work is planned on the Minikube side.
Okay, that should not be because Minikube now with my changes is working. So the end-to-end tests are fully working. So the same end-to-end tests that work for kinds. So I mean, there's a review process, it needs to get merged and so on and so forth. And it should not be any difference between kinds. So I mean, if we mock a device using kinds, then that should be the same using Minikube. Yeah.
You said you were able to POC a VFIO device that was mocked?
No.
Okay.
We don't have any mock devices. We just have the same example with the environment variables
Got it.
as with
Okay.
kind. We have the
Yeah.
environment variables, but this is the same behavior. But my question is, do you set a contact from one person who got assigned to create mock devices, correct?
Yes. I
Yeah.
believe it's Shrija. She's on this call.
Okay. So hello. Then I will ping you later. So
Yeah,
thank you.
sure.
Okay. So if we don't have anything more, I think we can go to the next topic. Gar.
Yeah, hi. I actually wrote this bullet before you have added the agenda update about 1.8. My question was basically about the host devices with DRA, about the ownership and who is willing to create and move forward this web. So you answered my question. But I have another question also related to DRA and to KubeVirt. So I was thinking currently in the KubeVirt device plugin framework, what we have is the permitted host devices API. So it's kind of like a whitelist, or it's kind of when you declare which devices you want to be exposed, right, and which are not. And I was thinking whether I'm not that familiar with the current DRA involvement in Kubernetes. Is there any idea in the DRA API that is equivalent to what we have with the permitted host devices, or it should be on the DRA driver side only? I mean that the DRA driver capable of assigning some devices, but it won't be allowed to, unless from the API we will tell the driver, okay, this device you will be able to allocate. I hope my question was,
Yeah.
was clear.
Yeah. So to summarize, I think what you are asking for is, let's say if the driver is managing 10 devices on the host, we want an ability to say for which kinds of workloads, which devices are permitted to be allocated out of those 10, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that capability exists in the DRA APIs as of now.
Mm-hmm. So
it would be good to collect use cases for this, and we can take it to them and potentially file a cap. But yeah, I think we should start with use cases so we can consolidate with everyone out there in the Kubernetes community.
I got you. Yeah. We basically have the one use case. It's basically the use case of web number 16. So yeah, well, they have a cluster, and currently they are using some project from the PCI devices and the PCI device claim. It's from Harvester project. It's basically, it creates like a custom resource for every PCI device. And when you want to expose some PCI device, you create the PCI device claim, which basically do the VFIO bind. And then it's capable of, and then you put this PCI ID in KubeVirt with external, and then it's capable of being scheduled on the VM.
That's awesome.
So,
Yeah, if you can add links to that use case here in the document, it would be great. We can potentially think of taking this to workgroup device management.
Okay, thank you.
And if you want to represent that, I can help you add a topic there as well. So let me know.
Thank you. Yeah, I will have to think how I will translate that use case. It's not a trivial one. Yeah, thank you.
Sure. Okay, I think we have run through the list of topics. Any other discussion topics or updates? Okay, going once, going twice. Okay, looks like we don't have anything, so we can end it here. Thank you everyone for joining. See you in a couple of weeks.
See you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.